Happy new week. Hope you are doing amazing. Um, Looking a really chilly morning down here in Melbourne, but I think it's going to be a great day outside. I went to my PT and we got home yesterday after our little family adventure to Port Arlington, which was a super fun weekend with the kids. As in 3 more sleeps, I'm off to the Gold Coast for a month, and first of all with the team conferencing and planning all sorts of exciting things for the rest of 2021. So today I thought, what will I speak about? And I was sitting there yesterday, and I thought, you know what? It's Monday morning. A lot of people want to be sort of inspired and motivated to take a week on. And so I thought I'd break down the differences of how I understand, and of course how I've learned and understood motivation versus inspiration. But before I get stuck into the content for the rest of the live, I'll give you guys an update as to what is happening on Digital Detox Month, which is this month of March that I announced a couple of weeks ago after reading the book Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. I implemented all of these changes into my life, and I have to say I've been going well. One day last week felt like I was going back to old habits, although it was a busy day online because Friday we bought a new car for our Gold Coast headquarters, and I had to sort of communicate on my phone and all that sort of stuff. But the good news is the report came in on Sunday, screen time report, right? And I have shaved off another 7 hours, 7 hour total hours off my screen time, okay, on my phone. Yeah, of course, because throughout the week I'm working, so my computers are on. Of course, there's screen time because that's essential activity. But off my phone, 7 more hours. So just to give you a little bit of a breakdown of what happened, week one, before I measured anything, the total time spent on the mobile device screen was 30 hours total. So it was averaging about 4 hours a day. Of course, that's got work in there and all that kind of stuff. The second week when I started the digital detox, I was down by 11 hours to just 19 hours by bringing more awareness, not to touch my phone, to leave it at home, to do all that kind of stuff. Good morning, Bernie and Kim. And week two ended yesterday, so I got my new screen time report, and it was down by another 7 hours. So I'm just going to have a look here just to give you an exact. So total screen time for the week last week was 12 hours 44 compared to 19 hours on week one of detox, and then 30 hours the week before. So overall, 18 hours throughout the week have been off the mobile screen. The one that I really was obviously interested in seeing how it would drop off is Facebook, like just checking the phone all the time for Facebook. And of course, I've removed my emails from my phone. So Facebook was at 7.5 hours pre-detox, and emails 1.5 hours. Then Facebook was at 2 hours in the second week, already like 5 hours gone, and no emails because I took them off my phone. And then down to just 1 hour, 19 minutes overall throughout the whole week. And I can see here where Friday I had to be sort of on quite a bit with the purchase of the car and all that kind of stuff. I can see how my little graph looked massive on the Friday. So there you go. So down from 30 hours overall to 12 hours. Okay. And most of the other things are like obviously using the camera. I love taking photos. I reckon the most I'm going to my phone for now is to take a photo, and obviously when we're away with the kids and all that kind of stuff, or look up something, or if I need to use GPS. So that's the debrief. Now week 3 starts today, and it's going to be very interesting to see as we go to the Gold Coast, and we're obviously in travel and transit, and I'm with the team, and being over there. Let's see how maybe this week ends up balancing out 3 days at home and 4 days traveling and being away, and kind of doing all that kind of stuff. All right, so that's the digital detox update. So let's move into what we're going to talk about today, which is the motivation versus inspiration. A lot of people ask me, how do you stay so disciplined, Nad? How do you, stay so motivated and all that kind of stuff? And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the differences between the two, because they are quite different. Motivation is up to you, okay? So it's internal, and inspiration is external. So you get inspired by others or other things, yeah? So I cannot motivate people. I can only inspire you through these Monday morning lives, and give you some suggestions or ideas, but you have to actually motivate yourself to get up and do some of the things that we talk about week in and week out, right? So let's tackle a little bit of inspiration. So where can we get inspiration, right? Because yes, it is from people, right? Someone you admire, right? You might admire certain entrepreneurs, speakers, celebrities, whatever, whoever it is that you follow, right? So inspiration can come from them. Secondly, inspiration can come from simply reading a book. I mean, you guys heard me, just relevant to what we were talking about just at the start of the call. I read the book Digital Minimalism. I was inspired to implement a month long digital detox from reading that book. So the book inspired me, but I had to motivate myself and take the practical steps and lessons from the book to actually put them and implement them into my life. Yeah. So we can get inspired by books. We can get inspired by watching a movie. There are movies that have many lessons behind them, or certain things you might watch, YouTube, whatever it is, visual media, if you like. And then you kind of go, oh, that's really inspiring. But inspiration, what I find is very short lived. So unless you act upon it and motivate yourself to take action, because you can hear someone and you can walk away from a few days seminar. I know people who go to Tony Robbins seminars that go for 5 days or 6 days or 3 days or whatever it is. And after that seminar, they're so inspired to make all of these changes and everything they've learned, and something shifted inside. And for many of them, those changes actually don't remain or become sustainable. And this is when I'm going to talk to you guys about motivation and the internal part of this equation. Because yes, other people like Tony Robbins or anyone that you admire can inspire you, but unless you take action on that inspiration quickly and set kind of the rules of how it's going to lay out, look for like long term. So for example, with the digital detox, yeah, it's great, it's a 30-day detox and all that kind of stuff, but my intention from the beginning wasn't just to make it a 30-day thing. The 30 days was when it was going to be obviously challenging, difficult. I would have hiccups. Like I said on Friday, I felt like I was back on the phone as long as I was pre-detox, so that one day. But I realized that I actually saw what it felt like to be like that day in and day out. Yeah. But I'm hoping that at the end, not hoping, I feel that at the end um, of those 30 days, that I will feel like I have a lot more control and rules around what I do and don't do on my phone, and how often I tap into it. And the fact I'm definitely know 100% now for sure that I will not reset up my emails on my phone, and my phone will never be used to check or send emails. I will always be going to. That has been one thing that has been just a really, really great thing to just do when I need to do it, rather than just at all hours, or reading something just before I go to sleep and things like that. So various things, obviously, I'm going to be very mindful of what to remain long term, and this is where we're going to talk a little bit about delayed gratification later on. So just to recap, inspiration is great, but it comes from external sources like people, like reading a book, like videos. But remember, it is short lived, and it doesn't keep, it doesn't stay top of mind unless you take action on it. Right now, I'm reading also my next book. I'm almost finished, a big book, this one, and quite a thought and deep one, is The Power of Intention. from Dr. Wayne Dyer. And that's a really, really deep book. And he gives a lot of practical things to do as well throughout it. So I want to read it all and then go back, and I open up where is my little booklet? My little book, which is to start today, which is important. And I start writing my notes and what are the key things, because unless I actually take action on some of the stuff that's recommended and I've just read, it's going to leave my mind. Yeah. Following rules, even if you set yourself a challenge, can become an obstacle to follow through. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And we're not perfect. And also on a day off, like Friday was our day off. We went out for brunch, we bought the car. There was lots of things happening and with the kids and pick up at school, and I wasn't near a computer, so therefore I was on my phone a lot more as well. Okay. Other people's success. So what else can inspire us? Other people's success. So we watch someone, we follow their journey of what they've done, or we read about their life and all that kind of stuff. And then that can inspire us as well to see if we want to replicate that kind of success in our own lives, depending on what it is: health, career, business, relationships, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, your teachers, your mentors, your coaches, groups that you're a part of, that's also can provide great inspiration for you to go for your goals. Yeah. But those people cannot do it for you. All right. So this is where motivation comes into the equation, that you can take that inspiration, but realize they can't do it for you. They can't get you the goal. They can't, get you, get up earlier and, exercise and all that kind of stuff. You need to play a part. It's kind of like a twofold game. Inspiration, motivation kind of go hand in hand. Okay, so how do we get motivated? What motivates a human being? I'm sure this topic has been spoken about many, many times. And I just kind of sat down yesterday and I thought, well, what is it? What is it that, gets me out of bed? What is it that keeps me disciplined around my fitness, around how I eat, around, what I do, what makes me get up? Yeah. So I'll break that one down for people. So, first of all, we've heard, it's your why, and when we say our why, so what does that mean? Well, what is important to you, right? What is truly important to you? Because if you think about the human value, in our values, we might have health, we might have career, we might have relationships, we might have shopping, we might have gaming. I'm just trying to think of obviously other things that people do that are not just the big things like health, business, or career, because values break down into their sub niches, if you like. And it is in our top 3 to 5 values where we will spend most of our time and money. Okay. So unless something is important enough to you, and it is in those top 5 values, 3 to 5, even top 3, you're not going to make the time, or you're not going to put in the effort or look for information to develop yourself further, to get, to put in the time and the effort. Okay. So if you say, I want to be healthier, I want to lose weight, I want to be fitter and all that kind of stuff, yet health and fitness is kind of living there at value number 9 or 10 on that list of values. And in the top 3, you've got socializing, you've got, travel, you've got other things like, that are totally, I guess, not conducive to being able to, don't help around the fact if you want to be healthy and all that. By the way, you can do all of those things even, even if you travel a lot and have lots of social gatherings and all that kind of stuff, because it's about the choices we make at the end of the day when we're in those situations, right? So you got to figure out what is truly important to you. And if you want to change a thing, you got to push it up in those top 3 values. You got to push it up to get, that's then every day you get up, you're going to go, okay, what's in my top 3 values? They're the things I'm going to do first. And then I'm going to focus on other things, because we can't do everything. We can't, it's impossible, but we can do anything we want. Yeah, we can't do everything, but we can do anything, right? And the thing is, let's say you want to focus on your health, and it might be like this 12-month journey of, focus, changing your lifestyle, getting into a regular exercise routine, eating, choosing and learning how to eat and feed yourself correctly and all that kind of stuff. After 12 months, that may become like that will become like a regular, like a new neural pathway in your brain. So you don't have to keep it in your top 3 values. It'll be there in your top 10, let's say. But once it's on autopilot and you're confident in that, then you can tap into another area that you really want to get better at, or just overcome. Example, again, I'm going to go back and refer to the digital detox. Right now, it is so new to me, and it's so conscious, right? So I'm consciously making sure that I'm choosing not to pick up my phone, choosing not to check email on my phone, so I'm making choices every time. I'm talking to myself in my brain, right? I'm hoping that after 30 days that it'll become kind of second nature of my new routines, and I won't have to pay as much attention to it, right? I think it won't be still easy, because I don't know if you guys have heard this, but it takes 2 to 3 years or 1,000 times of repetition until you build a new neural pathway. So to really, kind of have something that does go on autopilot, like brushing your teeth, you need to do it for 2 to 3 years or 1,000 times of repetition. So it probably is going to stay conscious. I know that's a lot, right? I know it might be a shock to you guys, but it is true, because habits that I've truly ingrained, as brushing my teeth, that's how long I've had to do them. Like my exercise, when I committed to my personal trainer about 6 or 7 years ago, I said twice a week with you, twice a week on my own, and 4 times a week is my goal. And that's how I'm going to stay consistent. But I know I'm in this for at least 3 years before I feel like it's like brushing my teeth. And that is exactly what has happened. Hey, Suzanne and Bernie, I'm glad you're enjoying the topic. If you came in late, guys, just re-listen, go to the beginning. Okay, so for me, when I committed, because I had learnt the thing about 2 to 3 years or 1,000 times of repetition, I said I have to do this like for a long time, and but I know time passes, and if I can just be focused on it, then I can build it. And so once I master one thing, I move on to like something else that I want to get better at, and you guys heard about the digital detox was the thing that I wanted to get better at from this month and on. But I know for the rest of this year, I'll probably have to be very conscious that I don't go back to the old habits, that I am conscious I'm leaving my phone, that I'm not checking emails and all that kind of stuff on it. Yeah. Okay. So that's the first point of how do you find what motivates you? You need to figure out what do you do every day? Just look at your day. Like, just look at your day and like do a time audit, as we said last week, and look at what shows up most. That's your top 3 values. That's where you spend most of your time and money. And that's pretty much very easy to see if the thing you want to be better at, is there, and if it needs to be pushed up, then that's the thing that needs to take part in all of your days. Yeah. All right. Second thing that motivates us as human beings is pain, right? Pain, right? Either punishment or survival, which is the harshest one of the pains. Yeah. Punishment means if you don't do it, let's again use the health example. I think it's the one most relatable and people can get it. Let's say you're not that healthy, but there's no you're not going to die because you're not that healthy. Yeah. But you feel like you're sluggish, or you feel like you can't keep up with your kids and play certain things that if you were healthier you probably could. And that's kind of punishment. Or you don't feel good like looking at yourself naked, or standing naked in front of your partner, or just don't feel comfortable in your clothes and all that. That's punishment, right? That's like that niggling little thing. But for some people that's not enough. For some people it is. Someone will make a comment or something and it'll snap them into making a change, which is a big motivator. Yeah, punishment. But survival, when someone gets given almost like a death sentence by their doctor because, say, of their health, generally it really can transform someone almost in an instant, like cold turkey. Yeah, because I mean, those people who We've heard about the stories of those that stop smoking when they get diagnosed with lung cancer. Probably the lung cancer won't go away. Now it's too late, right? So, unfortunately, those are the two things. And if you want to leverage pain, just kind of, well, what will happen if I don't do this? And what else? 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 Maybe metaphorically, to get yourself to that point of, it becoming about survival rather than just punishment. Because sometimes with punishments, people can continue living, yeah, and just put up with it, repress it. Yeah, I think repress it. I think that's the word. And so often in my mind, I'm creating scenarios in my head that are worst case scenarios of certain situations. If I don't get up and do my exercise today, my week's not going to start good. Things are not going to flow the way they normally flow. So it's like kind of these rules that if I don't do it, it's going to be doom and gloom, right? Which most cases it won't be, but it is good to paint that kind of a picture because then that motivates you, right, to get up. Um, One of the points that I had here is, and I think it ties in really nicely with this, is understanding delayed gratification and its power. Yeah. So we know instant gratification and delayed gratification. Sorry, I'm mirrored on this thing and my fringe is just not sitting right. Okay. Delayed gratification is something a lot of us choose not to kind of understand that it's actually the gold and the results and everything is when we practice that. Yeah, when we practice good habits, in years down the track we get those benefits when we practice and sacrifice our time and efforts when we're building a business, for example. I gave up so many things in those first 3 years. And again, I think that 2, 3 years, 1,000 times of repetition plays a big part. Gave up so many things, as most of you would know, I didn't watch any TV at all. At all. I thought it was the biggest waste of time because my values shifted, right? Like I totally, TV, Netflix, anything was on value number 20 or something. I did not devote any time. But where I put like this is business, education of self, those were the two. Personal development was number 3. Those were my top 3. So health wasn't there in the top 3. Hanging out with my family, any shopping or spending or like social life, that wasn't there. Yet it was really, really important prior to starting a business. Socializing, boy, in the top 3 values it was, right? But when I was growing my business, I even didn't have holidays. Yet holidays are also in my like kind of top 5 or 6 values in my life. Hanging, like going, chilling out with family and having those experiences, right? So all I did, lived and breathed it was this. How do I grow this business? Who do I need to talk to? Where do I need to join? What group? What book do I need to read? What seminar? What mentor do I need to learn from? Everything was just that. Everything was just that. And of course, once I got the ball up in the plate up, spinning, 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 right? I started seeing the rewards with this delayed gratification towards it all. I could implement and bring in other things towards top 3 values like the health, like hang out with family, bring the holidays back in, all that kind of stuff. For a certain period of time when we're building a new habit or wanting to change something in our life, we really, really need to focus and probably eliminate a lot of the other things that we do on a daily basis. So understand delayed gratification and please practice it because at the end you really do reap all the benefits. That famous quote still rings in. I mean, it's in my planner. I love it. It's one of my favorite quotes, and that is, and it's so true. It's like exactly what we're talking about today, and also about delayed gratification. But this is the one. It's here in the planner. Entrepreneurs live a few years in their life like most people won't. So they can live the rest of their life like most people can't. So same thing. You could implement change the word entrepreneurs and change it to whatever thing that you want to be better at that other people won't do. We could say, someone who's healthy and fit lives a few years of their life like most people won't. like focusing on their health and fitness and so they can live the rest of their life like most people can't, because they, once they've built those habits after the first few years, it's second nature to them. It's not just a no-brainer. All right, pleasure. Pleasure is a motivator. So are you driven by pleasure and reward? Not many people are. It's the weakest of the motivators. Obviously, punishment and survival are the stronger too. You're welcome, Kim. And so pleasure is another motivator. And the more references for success you collect in different things that you're able to get better at in your life or improve, the more you'll start getting, I think, motivated by pleasure. So nowadays, I definitely find pleasure to be a greater motivator for me, because I know if I suffer a little bit for this thing, I know the fruits of like my things are going to be like that. I'm going to get at the other end. I know rewards there, because when you pay the price, you get the reward. It's kind of like, what is it? A rule of the universe. It's a rule of the universe that if you pay the price, you will get the reward. But most people don't want to pay the price, right? And so really, really, I'm glad you're enjoying it, G. I really want you to think about that. Initially, motivate yourself, look at your values, look at your inspiration, look at what is important to you. If it's something not like, this is what I say to my budding authors. If you haven't written a book by now, it's because it's not important to you. Everything else is taking priority, right, in your life. When you push it up in your top 3 values for a temporary period of time, you'll see how you'll do it. And you'll find the money to do it, because writing a book is not a cheap exercise, right? All right, so last one I'm going to cover off. I can't believe I've spoken for half an hour. I just feel like I'm just getting started. Self-respect and commitments to you. Okay, so we make commitments to other people all the time. So I'm saying this is what motivates me. So when I say I'm going to do this in my goals at the back of the planner, yeah, so I write my 90-day goals and first quarter goals. Here they are, right? When I put that pen paper on down, pen to paper, and I said, this is what I'm going to do. These are the commitments to me and what I would like to achieve around health, family, business, personal development, financial future, whatever. It's like, this is what I have to do. I've put it down on paper. It's like, I don't have to show this to anybody. I don't have to answer to everybody, but my commitment and my self-respect to me is what motivates me. It's like, I can't let myself down. All right. So think about, well, what does that mean for you? Do you set things and then let yourself down? Yes, because our commitment, our greatest commitment, is the one we make to ourselves, not to other people. It's to ourselves. What do we promise we're going to do? Commitment is my motivator. When I commit to myself and others, I get it done. Yeah. I mean, I do both too, Suzanne, but the one that is the most important is to me. And is it good for me? And then generally, if it's good for me, it's good for others, good for the greater good. Like we look at those things as well. So it was funny, last night on Words on Wednesdays, some of you were there, some of you weren't. I don't know if they're on your live, and I have to do this today. I haven't done so in every year I do a 5-year vision, and you put the year 5 years from now, which is 2026 here. And at the end of the arms, guys, you put down what will your environment, what will your life look like in 5 years, things, measurable things you have achieved, and other things like, healthy and like, it can be sort of, I want you to think about half of them being measurable, like, so numbers around things. Oh my God, it gave us chills down our spine. I pulled out my planner from 2016. And in 2016, I had 2021 in here. And I just read all what I had written. And it just, the numbers, like, they were like spot on. Like having helped 600 authors. Something like 8 properties. I think it was something like other numbers like that I had put then, because in 5 years' time, like they say, we underestimate what we can do in a short period of time and overestimate what we can do in a short period of time and underestimate what we can do in a longer period of time. But I do this every year, so it was really, really, like, I pulled it out because the topic was about who will you be and what will you be doing in 10 years' time, and I did it in the reverse order. and it was just really spooky. So do that kind of stuff. And those are the commitments to myself when I do my 5-year vision. So I hope you have some food for thought. Motivating Monday, all right? Hopefully I've given you some motivation, well, inspiration. Remember, inspiration is external. If you're getting it from me, it is now up to you to motivate yourself to look at what is the next area of life you want to really tackle and build a neural pathway around. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Those that have commented, if you haven't commented and you've caught this in a recording or it's at the end, I'd love to know what was the favorite aha moment of what I said, and what resonated with you. And if you're happy to share something that you will tackle next in your life to improve for to build that next better version of you, I'd love to know that too. All right, have a great week, guys, and as always, smash it out.